Well, I am delighted to welcome back into this community conversation the Reverend Dr. Canon Stephanie Spellers. Stephanie, welcome back.
Oh, brother Aaron, Nequist like Niebuhr. It is so wonderful to begin this new year in conversation with you.
Yes. We were just both saying before we started hitting record, this is our first thing jumping back out of eggnog land. So we're back. Well, I'd love to talk about three things with you. Pretty short conversation. The first one is your new book.
You mean
yes,
this?
There we go. Yes. I'm so excited. This little thing. So excited to talk about what you have learned and what you're inviting us to learn. So we're going to talk about church tomorrow. Number two, I want to talk a little bit about the desire that you began articulating this summer for re-enchantment. What does it mean to be re-enchanted in such a disillusioning and disillusioned world? So I'd love to talk about that. And then finally, I want to bring both of those together. What you're learning through your book and then this desire for re-enchantment into this retreat that we get to lead together in Houston in February. So
yes.
Is that a good roadmap for where we're going?
I love this, and yes. I'm glad that we get to invite some other folk on this journey with us.
Yes. Well, let's begin with the most exciting thing. Your book, Church Tomorrow. I'm 2/3 of the way through. It's beautiful. It's inspiring. It's challenging. It's not all rainbows. I mean, you are inviting us into some very undeniable but pretty painful truth about the reality. And so why don't you tell us a little about the book, and then specifically for those of us who are in the church and those of us who are giving leadership to the church, what can we learn from our siblings who have left? The nuns, the duns. What can we learn? So,
Oh, my goodness. So I launched this adventure about this time last year, honestly. I think I hit the road in January. In fact, I know I hit the road in January of 2025. And before that, spent a few weeks in deep study. And all because I had just finished working for the, quote, national church offices of the Episcopal Church for almost a decade. So deep within the institution. And as I was emerging, I really had a lot of curiosity about what's out there. And what are we not seeing? What have I not seen because I've been so deep in it? But also, what are a lot of us not seeing? And in particular, what's happening for people who have nothing at all to do with church? Who are honestly a growing proportion of Americans. And what I realized is that we know that intellectually. We know even, maybe we've seen some of the stats, but then honestly run from them or come up with anecdotes to explain why, well, that's not really what's happening. People aren't really opting out of Christian communities so much, so quickly. And oh, look, there's a spike of people coming back. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to pause, to get real. And so I dug deep into a whole lot of data, tried to make it plain about the history, the story of not just the decline of Christianity, but honestly, disaffiliation from institutions, period, in American life.
Yeah, that's right.
The dearth and the death, really, of trust, of communities, of the increase of there are these three forces that I looked at here. The increase in privatization, that is, all the forces making life so lonely, making us so isolated. The increase in secularization, So all the forces that are making it more and more just reasonable and honestly easy to live a life without any rootedness in religious community or religious tradition. And finally, the increase in pluralization, which means not only do we have so many different spiritual traditions to choose from, different options for connecting, but we also have that internet that truly has presented us with like such multiplicity. Nobody commits to anything anymore.
Yep.
Everything is plural. You know, like whether it's relationships are plural or faith, life is this hodgepodge, this bento box, I call it. So I wanted to dig deep, first of all, into the reality of what's happening in our culture, what's happening all around us, and why is it that it feels so difficult to maintain, to grow, to make a case for Christian community in American life today. And then I wanted to place that next to the witness of people who honestly aren't struggling with the questions because they're gone or they are not religious anyway. They never were. So I went out and spent several months on the road across America interviewing nuns and duns, particularly millennial and Gen Z. So ages 18 to 44-year-olds who are not religious. They may be spiritual. They may have deep, meaningful relationships, but religion just isn't necessarily a part of it, or at least affiliation, religious affiliation is not a part of it. I wanted to know from them, tell me about your journeys. I wanted to know from them, how and where are you experiencing the sacred, the ultimate meaning, mystery, God? How and where are you experiencing community and belonging? And what would they tell churches if we would shut up and listen?
Yeah.
So those are the four questions that I traveled with, and those are the four questions that, as they answered them, I was more and more blown away, honestly, by what I call the prophecies of these nuns and duns.
Yeah.
What they could teach us, not because they've got it figured out. They don't.
Yeah.
Not because we need to go and all of us just detach and become nuns and duns. We don't. That wouldn't help anybody. Many of them wish Christians would get their stuff together. They miss Christian community, a lot of them. They miss a gospel-based community. They're just not convinced that Christianity, as it's practiced in majority culture America, has anything to do with Jesus anymore. Yeah. And honestly, I'm not sure they're that wrong.
It's hard to disagree. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. It is. It's there's some real reckoning that they forced me to do, and that I hope this book helps all of us to do in love. You know, truth and love. That's what we're counting on, right?
Well, I want to ask if there's one thing, there's many, but for you to share with this community, pastors, priests, guides, those leading churches, if there's one thing you heard that you'd love to bring from them to us. But first, to just make a comment of one of the reasons I appreciated this so much, for you to frame what's happening in the churches in the wider cultural context, for me was so helpful. It rang deeply true, but it also took it out of, if only churches were a little cooler, if only we had a coffee shop in our lobby, takes it out of that whole, this is a big seismic story and shift, and that I appreciated so much. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, you're right. It's not as simple as do these three things and you're going to be fine. Yeah. And it's also not as simple as you messed this up and now you're being punished for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So I hope there's some freedom and maybe even some pastoral support in that.
Yeah.
If there's a message that I walked away with, it's it probably is the first of the prophecies that I identified from these nuns and duns, understanding that so many of us feel like we're walking through a valley of the dry bones. And what I heard from them was there's life in here, but you're only going to find it if you return to Jesus. And this was atheists, Aaron. This was people who've been chased out of their churches, wounded. This was so many people saying to me, where are the real Christians? We would love to see you. Yeah. Some people, it was clear that they would love to even maybe return to being Christian. But more than that, it was just the world, the non-religious communities. Many of them are waiting for real Christians to show up. There is a hunger to see us standing tall as disciples who love the way Jesus loved. And there's just such a hope in that. It's like, my God, they haven't given up on us. Then we can't give up on us. You know, we don't have a right to give up on this gospel. If I can hear nuns and duns across America quoting it back to me, they were quoting the gospel of Jesus Christ back to me, often as a critique, saying to me, how come you all are not feeding people the way you're supposed to? How come you're not welcoming strangers the way you're supposed to? How come you're apologizing about loving people on the margins? Jesus didn't apologize for that. How come you're so hesitant in your witness? Jesus died to make these things true and plain and to spread that kind of love. And you all are busy protecting your buildings. That's what they were saying to me. And I find it so challenging, but also such a clarion call, you know, where I'm like, okay, we need to put our big girl, big boy, big people pants on and be the Christians that they, the non-religious, are waiting to see. How about that?
May it be so.
May it be so. And I find it energizing and encouraging to imagine partnerships with nuns and duns. Partnerships not necessarily where they are inside our churches rolling up their sleeves to make it better for us, but partnerships where we bring the best of what it is to be followers of Jesus. And also the best of our traditions. And lay it out there. Lay it out there in public and say, what could we do together for the sake of love, for the sake of the good? I think the answers would just blow us away, and the partnerships would blow us away.
Wow. Well, let's expand this conversation a little bit, and I want to bring us into this idea of re-enchanting the world, beyond doing church and into finding God's fingerprints everywhere. And the story behind this, just for everyone else, is this summer we had a number of us who had been guides on Pastors, Priests, and Guides over here at our apartment here in Brooklyn, and Shauna made an epic Shauna meal. And of course.
So inspiring.
Oh, man. And so we did that little reflection, looking back at all these images from past retreats and just asking the Spirit to speak. And you were the first one to share, and it shifted the temperature of the room. And you said, the word that keeps coming to me is re-enchantment. Re-enchantment. What does it mean to move beyond cynicism? Not back to pre-cynicism, but beyond it into something bigger and wider. And Stephanie, that moment that I really think was the Spirit speaking to you and through you is shaping our entire year at Pastors, Priests, and Guides.
What a blessing.
We want this 2026 to be the year of re-enchantment. Deconstruction is really important, but we can't stay there.
No.
We want to be born again, you know. Okay, so can you just share a little bit about what was stirring in you with that? And when you think of re-enchantment, what is kind of trying to get born in you?
I mean, it occurs to me, Aaron, that my last 2 books now have been sort of based on walking straight into some of the most painful, discouraging truths that we as church, as culture, as nation are facing, and not being afraid to look them in the eye, to say, oh, that's real. This shit is real.
Yeah.
And to say they do not control our narrative. So that re-enchantment then is about saying, all right, so what is there that's still to love? Where are those glimmers? And where are those embers, and how do we,
Yep.
blow on them enough to get this flame roaring again? Because it wants to. That Holy Spirit wants to flow. She wants to blow. She wants to fly. She wants to change something. She wants to change us. She wants to heal. She wants to live. How do we join in that? And where is it already happening? And maybe it's happening in places and with people we wouldn't have even identified as Christian or as godly. But God already made up God's own mind that God was going to show up there.
Yeah.
And now it's up to us to shift gears. It's up to us to change how we see.
Yeah.
And just to fall in love again with maybe a faith that we didn't even know was waiting for us. So that's the invitation I hear from these nuns and duns.
Yeah.
It's the invitation I need in a moment when, it would just be so easy to say, screw it all.
Yeah.
Again, I just no. And I need to say no to that.
Yeah.
You need something to say yes to as well. I want to be saying yes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to say yes to.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot.
That yes, that longing, that what I love about you is hope never requires pretending. You don't have to pretend everything's fine. You can name what is broken all the way. And. And so that desire is bringing us to Houston. February 9th, Monday, for a one-day retreat where we're going to explore and learn from some of those who have left the church or were never there to begin with, calling us back to the way of Jesus in a way that helps us get in touch with that longing for re-enchantment.
Yes.
And what I love about re-enchantment is we're not re-enchanting the world. The world is already enchanted. It's our eyes. Like we need new eyes to see what has been happening all along. And so maybe I would just ask you, Steph, we've been a part of a number of these retreats together. What is possible on retreat? What draws you back into this work? What can happen when we set a day aside to have new eyes to see?
Aaron, I am so looking forward to our time together on February the 9th in Houston. I need this.
Yeah, me too.
I need this.
Me too.
I need to see your face and the faces of others. I need to sing these songs. I need to walk that actual bridge, maybe even to build it as we walk it that bridge from despair to hope, that bridge from, just looking around at what's broken to this re-enchanted gaze on what is actually flourishing, what is possible.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah.
And I do need, and I believe we all, if it's at all possible, we need to take that time. Just take a day, take a few hours, and pray together. Set an intention together. Sit with a few questions together. Like just gather and say, so how is it with your spiritual journey? Where are you encountering the sacred? Where are you experiencing community and belonging? Oh, belonging.
Yeah.
And what do you need to tell the church? Yourself. And what do you need to breathe into? And what do you need to let die?
Yeah.
And what do you need to grow? And how can we help each other to grow it? That to me, if I can do that in this, at some point in these first weeks of 2026, I feel like it will change something. I'm ready to set an intention together and to be changed and to be a part of changing something in the year ahead.
Yeah.
I need to know that's possible, and I need to gather with other people who are going to hold that hope for and with one another. I'm so grateful that we get to do that together in February.
I know. Me too. Me too. Thank you. Thank you for traveling the country to learn, to bring this wisdom back to us. Thank you for this summer here in my apartment with our team to just say something is happening inside me with re-enchantment. It's sparked this whole year for us. And then thank you for coming to Houston. We're going to do this thing. And
we're crawling out of that valley of the dry bones.
That's right.
We are crawling out. We are standing up. We are getting that flesh back. We are getting that breath back. We are coming to life together. Watch it happen.
Amen and amen. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.